You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
But I do not have the weenie wagon, which is, of course, the one thing I want.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 466th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, I've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
And also Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
Congratulations on everyone who completed the Fallout 3 DLC roundtable with us. Quite a successful adventure, I would say. I think if you guys could maybe check me on this fact, but I would say percentage-wise, this is probably beginning to finish the most people who joined and completed the entire thing. We usually start with 15 and end with 2. You know what I mean? I'd like to...
I mean, 15 to 3 or 4, but yeah, this time we had a good 6 or 7 right at the end.
Yeah.
Feedback last episode, we still had 5.
It was great. So congratulations to everyone on that adventure. Hey, but don't let the lapse in a roundtable let you stop sending in feedback. We still like to know what you guys are up to out there, what games you're playing, anything that you're doing, Fallout related or not. So yeah, keep sending in your feedback. The Fallout Feed at gmail.com. So on the show tonight, y'all, we will get into a little bit of our gameplay. Now that we're out of the roundtable, our gameplay tends to branch out a little bit, and we play a few different games. So we'll see what everyone's getting involved in.
Well,
Jess,
I do hope
What's up?
that you guys have not forgotten your Fallout 3 yet, because
Oh, what?
if
What
we
happened?
get to a game tonight, it might be Fallout 3
Oh
based
no! I thought we left it in the dust long ago.
No.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that Jess brought a fun game tonight, so we'll sounds like it's going to be Fallout 3 related, so stay tuned for that. Lots of iguana bits, it looks like, on the way, and a couple of shouts on our way out the door. So why don't we go ahead and start it off like we usually do and roll into our gameplay. Hey, Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games this week, sir?
I played a little bit. Yes, I did. So a little bit of Skyrim, but mostly Starfield. I've been playing around with the extreme sliders and just kind of getting into all that kind of stuff.
You mean making them have a silly face?
Yeah, no.
No, seriously though, what do you mean?
The gameplay sliders. So, turning stuff up, turning stuff down, see how things work. See what makes sense, what doesn't.
There were some menus I didn't understand in that Starfield gameplay menu. Or I don't know which menu it was even.
Yeah,
Seemed
it
like
was
there
probably the gameplay one because it's pretty broad.
There was lots of like subcategories to things. I was like, why?
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed. I've not been able to find a mod that fixes the stealth bonus from hydration. Because I'd really like to get the other, the other effects. You get carry weight and additional health. But I lose all that because I don't want, the massive overdone stealth kill bonus. So
Being hydrated gives you a crazy overpowered stealth kill bonus.
Yeah, so it's supposed to give you a 15%,
Oh, you said and it
bonus.
gives you 15 times. Yeah, you
and it gives you
men-
15
yeah,
times.
you
So
mentioned that
if
before.
you're, when you get to, um, when you get to the fourth rank of stealth, you're doing like 49 times damage.
Wait, not with another 15 times that, right? That's the 49
Now
is
that
included.
is that's
Okay,
yeah,
including-
it's
okay.
15 times your normal, like 4.5. I think you max out at 4.5 times damage.
All right, I've got two solutions. One,
I can't not sneak.
you have to make the goddamn mod yourself. You gotta nut up and make that mod like you did the flag. Everyone, I hope you're still flying your Fallout 4 Fallout feed flags every time you build a settlement. Fallout
Can't
4.
play without it.
Gotta build that one. So seriously though, is that way beyond your capabilities? Like, is modding for Starfield a lot different than Fallout 4? Like, is it using the
Yeah.
same bones, or is it a lot different?
No, it's a lot different because with Fallout 4 you have the creation engine. And so you're actually, using the game mechanics to make these different textures. With Starfield, since we don't have the creation engine yet, you actually have to be a real programmer and know
to
how
be able to
to
like copy their assets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
it's,
otherwise they would give them to you. Is that what you're saying?
you've got to know where. Yeah, so you have to be able to figure out where stuff is in a computer program instead of having a nice, neatly packaged program that lays all that out for you.
I get
So-
it. So you got to hack it and use it. Huh?
But yeah, there's some good mods out there. I've been having fun. I keep an eye on the what's new today on the Nexus. And so I did find a nice one. One of the frustrating things with the vanilla game, if you use the environmental slider, is that you can have you don't have a reliable way of getting suits that protect you from the environment. And so this mod makes all of the like the Explorer and the Space Trucker and those types of spacesuits high in environmental protection but low in bullet protection. If you get the the bounty hunter or any of those
It's vice versa, right?
more combat related suits, they're very low in hazard protection but very high in bullet protection.
And there's no Johnny all around.
Yeah,
Mr.
there are some
Average.
that are kind of figured as like the balanced boost pack, where it's a little bit skip, a little bit power, but not really good at either one. So those suits are there as well.
That also doesn't seem optimal, just to leave you
Right.
sort of stranded.
But if you
two.
just if you pick your planets well, then you don't have to worry about it. So you just don't go on planets with high radiation or high toxicity or super cold or anything like that.
Now, if you navigate like me, you just sort of don't know what you're getting into. And you just kind of show up and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Oh, let's get out of here."
So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday, the new expedition for No Man's Sky dropped,
Awesome.
and so been doing a lot of that.
What's that like?
It's different than any of the other ones that we've done. You're in an alternate universe, and so
I call BS already.
it's it's completely empty of of alien life. So you still have creatures, and you still have sentinels, but there's no Viking, there's no Gex, there's no, you know, there's nobody in the space stations. There's nobody in the, the on planet facilities. It's just empty.
Wow. Okay, so it's like early days Fallout 76. Just you and the computers. Any robots?
The sentinels.
Okay.
So,
And what's the goal of the expedition?
I haven't gotten there yet.
I can't,
So
I can't believe you haven't finished it. It's been out, what, more than 2 days, right?
Yeah, well, the first time through, I like to take my time.
3 days. Come on, Andrew.
So that's been a lot of fun, and there's some great rewards and stuff. So we actually managed to record an episode of BBC.
Oh my God, everyone showed up?
Yep. And so now I just have to publish the one that we had recorded before. And we should be.
I was just yesterday, I was looking at my podcatcher being like, oh, April? What are you doing?
Yeah, I've been slacking between between our struggles to to make it all three of us together at the same time, and then getting that done and me finally getting it published. It's been a bit.
Yeah, and doing a podcast and the publication part of it afterwards is, that it just cuts into so much of your game time. You're just like, oh man.
It's work. There's no doubt it's work. Sometimes editing, I mean, it all depends how much you edit, but it can take longer than the podcast itself for sure. Scheduling, planning, posting, all that.
I know the
Fortunately, I don't have to edit a Baker. Baker takes care of that for me. But I have to do all the balancing and the adding the intro, the outro. Those
God.
terribly long.
That's 6-7 minutes tops.
And post it to the feed too.
And then post it to the feed. Yeah,
12 minutes tops.
Well, compliments to Baker. I didn't realize that he was your editor.
Yeah,
Does a good job.
Yeah, and he routinely gets Andrew in his ears, and he's pulling out funny little bits to usually torment Jen.
Of course.
It's a trend.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So there should be a couple of episodes. I mean, June will be a flush month.
Sweet.
Maybe if I get lucky, I might actually get. No, I won't.
It's not even.
I forgot today's the last day of May.
Nope. Yep. In about 41 minutes.
So, but that's been the extent of my gameplay.
Sweet, super fun. How about you, Jess? You get a chance to play any video games this week?
I did when I wasn't editing and posting, like we were talking about.
And I feel so bad because I've been on the road like 2 out of the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm like, here you go, Jess. No, on top of all the videos and everything you make, here, take my editing responsibilities and posting as well. There you go.
I definitely enjoy it, and I've gotten better at not over editing our shows, but it is funny with doing Vault Talk at the same time. When it's like 2 a week with the way I edit, I'm like, oh, geez, that's the.
and Ray, that she's got like 3 or 4 dames in her back pocket still waiting to be posted as well. How many over under? I say 3.5 episodes of dames.
You are exactly correct.
You're going to take the over or under on that 3.5, Ray?
I'll go over.
Get them out.
I mean, technically, I guess it's 4, so he may
Yeah,
be
there you
correct.
go.
But
Good
I would say
job.
3.5 because there's one that's mostly edited. Now, here's the thing about priorities. So, I have a weekend free or a long weekend like we just had, and I'm like, oh, I should edit a Dames, but I need to do the feed first, and maybe other things, and yeah. But we're a weekly show, so takes precedence. Apologies to Dames fans out there.
Oh man.
That said, I played a good bit of Fallout this week. Pretty much the only game I played. Well, not entirely true. I did get into Hellblade 2 a bit. Did I mention this last week? I don't remember if I started before the show last week or after.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, so I played about 4 or 5 hours of Hellblade 2 so far. Now, it's only a 6 to 10 hour game, according to most people. How long to beat would put it at 5.5 to 7 is the general range. However, that was pre-release. And now that it's out, like a lot of people I'm talking to, they're taking them closer to 7, 8 hours at least. For me, it's probably going to be 10 to 12 because it has a photo mode.
I was gonna say I know what circle you run in, and those people, of course, will take longer to complete a game, especially if there is a photo mode.
Maybe one of the best looking games ever made. Some have said the best looking game ever made. Now, that all depends on your style. Are you into ultra immersive, semi-realistic, a little bit uncanny valley, but semi-realistic graphics? Then this is the best of that type pretty much ever made. It's beautiful. It's cinematic. They even film it in your cinema style 21 by 9 or whatever that resolution is. And yeah, it's gorgeous, but it is a bit of a walking simulator, even more so than the first one. In that a lot of the game, you're just pushing Senua, your character, forward. And, there is combat and there are puzzles, but relatively simple and a bit repetitive. If you enjoyed the first one, chances are you'll enjoy this. If the first one seemed too combat light for you, this one seems to be about the same. Maybe even combat might be a little simpler. That said, the graphics are significantly better. The sound design is probably better. It's a really, really pretty game. So it's on Xbox and PC. If that sounds like something you're interested in, just experiencing it. If you don't know, the main character Senua is dealing with psychosis. And she's I believe, a Celtic warrior, and it deals with the first one about her going into hell to try to, bargain with Hela to bring her boyfriend back, bring her love back from the dead. This one is about her after that adventure, going with the slavers from the north to try to stop them from, attacking the villages where she's from and stealing their people. So it's a little bit different scope. This one is a little bit bigger scope as far as the size of the battles and stuff like that. But it's also, you're not going into the underworld. So that's different. But yes, Hellblade 2, some people are asking what game I'm talking about. Hellblade 2. Beyond that, it was pretty much Fallout. I had a good solid night of Fallout 76 and a good solid night of Fallout 3. Let's tackle the Fallout 3 first. I did fully clean up Point Lookout. I got all of the locations. I got that achievement. Yay! Found all the things. Although, I'm not positive. I mean, that I found Kenny's cave. I wonder, maybe I found it and didn't go in. Is it called Kenny's Cave? Is that the name of it?
No, it's oh,
Well, I didn't.
It's got a different name. Shoot, I can't remember the name.
Well,
of it.
I didn't go into it because I didn't meet Kenny. You bastard! Play with his cave, but I did find all the locations, and I dug up some holes with my handy dandy shovel, and I fought all the enemies, and yeah, so got that fully cleaned up. There were a couple of neat ones, so that also means I did the rest of the quests that were in the game. The Antique Land, that was interesting. That's when you get on the Ozymandias, which is the boat off the shore. And you have to go find these different soil sample testing sites. And there's a little bit of backstory about the lead researcher is, well, she's a bit of a, liberal sympathizer. And, they feel that she might be she might be a bit of a commie, like Cadillac Bob. So you go through, and they're having one of the other researchers keep tabs on her, and ultimately, I think she gets disappeared because of the fact she's sending. She gets curious about what's going on, why the soil samples here are so rich with certain types of gases beyond what they should be, based on the composition, and the answering being that it was an ancient burial ground that they probably shouldn't have been messing around in. But that was interesting, and they also had the muck holes. Did you go in the muck holes, Ray?
Oh yeah.
They reminded me of like giant anthills. I'm like, ew, I don't want to go in a muck hole. But you go down, you find a soil sample holotape and turn it in.
Yeah.
There is also, I finished the Velvet Curtain. So that one was as good as you said, Ray. And I mean, it seemed like it was going to be one of the better ones because I enjoyed the first half. This is the one where you're kind of tracking the path of Agent Yang and completing or stopping his mission, such as it is. So I went through, I had to get to the detention center up north, and the robots there are no joke. That was fun. There's a sentry bot. Actually, there's like 2 sentry bots, right? And a Gutsier 3 and a bunch of ghouls.
Lots of ghouls, yep.
And you can let them fight each other a bit, but they weren't a whole lot of damage to each other. I mean, they were, but I'm headstrong, so I went in there and fought them all, and I just about died once. In fact, I might have even died once. It was a little bit hard with all the sentry bots, but it was fun. So then you find a location, and there is you have to go into one of the buildings and down into the septic tunnels, which that was a pretty horrifying sight too, because it's a detention center, and there are in the basement of one ovens for cremation. Like you can flip a switch, turn on the gas, and the oven happens and stuff. And I don't know if they're kind of hinting at the whole concentration camp aspect, or if it's simply, this is what we did if they did die while they're in detention. This is how we disposed of them via cremation. Whichever, a little upsetting. But you can go into the septic tunnels from there. And I thought that was really cool looking. I liked that part. There's a lot to explore. Ultimately, the secret Chinese base, that was pretty awesome. Where the location is by the Calvert Mansion. And you do the little puzzle. I'm glad there was a puzzle. I love a good puzzle. Even if it was a simple one, but you had to put on the chromatic glasses and you see the stripes.
Yeah, then you see the stripes.
Mm-hmm. It was fun because I had to actually put my thinking cap on. And sometimes we have puzzles in Fallout, but most of the time it tends to be text only. There's not really like manipulation puzzles, besides Dima's Blue Nightmare, and maybe thank goodness for that in that case. But but there aren't that many puzzles, so it was fun to have one. And you go in, and as I kind of suspected, when you register that you've successfully completed your mission and blown up the submarine, which is the goal there, you go into a room for your reward, and of course the door shuts behind you, and the terminal says, "Thank you, Agent Yang, for your service. Your next of kin will receive your successful completion bonus in the form of," they have a whole description there, like some kind of lottery or extra rations or something. Obviously, we can't let you go free with what you know. And, thank you for your service. You've been a loyal Chinese communist. So, yeah, pretty much the ending you expect. But you can manage to block the gas vent and escape and, live to spy another day. So that was a fun one for sure. Let's see. So I did that Vault 3. Then I went back to anything else, right?
Herzog's Mine. That's the entry location to get into Kinney's Cave.
Okay, I did find Herzog Mine then. I even think I might have gone into Herzog's Mine, but
it's full of traps.
Oh, then I definitely went into Herzog's Mine. There were a lot of traps there. Is it possible that the secret exit? No, the secret exit from the detention center exits onto the garbage heap, I think it's called, or trash heap. Not to be confused with the ash heap. I know some of you guys call my favorite place in 76 the trash heap, but it's not. It's beautiful. Just because you can't breathe doesn't mean it's not the best place to live.
The sulfur clouds choking me out, Jess.
I get a complex because Beckett and Sophia, they're always whining. They're like, "Oh, the air here, can't breathe." I'm like, "Hey, you're the one who chose to live with me, okay? Go somewhere else."
It's like you literally have me tied to a magic item like a genie to a pot, lady. Let me go. Release me, please.
I guess I kind of have them a bit like you have Billy in Fallout 4 sometimes. I'm sorry,
Yep.
but you live with me now.
You're with me for the long haul, bud. Sorry.
Oh, it's so funny. I mentioned to you that I had retweeted our BS from the BOS
Oh, yeah.
tweet that you first did like 3 years ago
Yeah,
when
it's
the
been a
show
while,
was out. And in that, of course, you're letting know Lancer Captain Kells what's up when he tries to address you on the Pridwin, and you go, "Get out of here!" and you shove him off the Pridwin to his death, and he goes, "Ah!" It's like the Roadrunner. It's fantastic, and everybody loves that clip. It's got over 500 likes now after tweeting out a second time.
Damn. Nice.
But someone noticed that Billy was there. And a couple of people were like, "Wait, why is Billy there?" Because you can see him just on the edge, kind of running towards you.
Billy's always with me. I
Yeah, and I'm
hardly
like-
ever do anything without Billy.
Like he keeps him around. Someone else said, "Take Shen home," and I'm like, because they thought it was Shen, the water sales boy in Diamond City.
I bet
And
you.
I'm like-
I bet you Travis was just off a screen too.
Probably, but yeah, I told them Shen was branching out, and you guys were distributing water across the Commonwealth. But anyway, I just thought it was hilarious that somebody noticed you were dragging Billy onto the Pridwin of all places.
Billy loves it. Don't even think about the abuse. He loves the adventure.
The first Ghoul Squire in the Brotherhood.
Exactly.
Man, he would be low man on the totem pole for sure. He'd get beat up worse than Maximus. My goodness.
You mean Lucimus?
So we were coming up
Maxilus?
with on Vault Talk. We were coming up with some pet names. You guys can listen to the next episode of Vault Talk, probably out on Tuesday for that. But back to the adventuring. So I went back to the mainland and I finished up Riley's Rangers. Which what a great adventure that is. Getting in there. I went into Underworld. I did all the stuff there. I went to the Statesman Hotel. Did Riley's Rangers up through the Our Lady of Hope Hospital. I think I owe you an apology. I think yes, this is for Andrew, not you, Ray. Although apologies to you if it applies. but I don't think it does.
let me get my ears nice and clear for this. Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
I was wrong.
Uh-oh.
It is very easy to get lost trying to do Riley's Rangers in the Our Lady of Hope Hospital and Statesman Hotel.
Did I say something about that specifically?
You have previously talked about getting lost in that building, and I
Okay.
have, as usual, poo-pooed your sense of direction. I was
Yeah.
wrong. I
But
was stuck there.
I do get lost easily. But Corvega being the most typical, even though I think I've finally learned my way through it. But,
20th time's the charm.
exactly. No, it's just because I've done it 58 times. You're right.
But yeah, I needed to say I got lost. I was, haha, I'm not going to get lost. I was stuck in that building for a good 20, 30 minutes before I could really find my way out. Going back and forth. I missed one door, and then there's a secret that they collapsed the way in behind you. So I got super confused because I kept backtracking, being like, why can't I find how I came in the first place to orient myself?
And
I can't because
they collapsed it. Ah.
yeah, it's magic. It's a magic disappearing door. So
Wow.
very mad. Anyway, I did that, did the Riley thing, and went back, got my armor from them, took up the mapping job. So yeah, still having fun in Fallout 3. I think I'm done now that I finished Point Lookout. But, Wilbur, it wasn't quite ready to be done yet. Hearing all the excellent feedback about what people have been up to, and just, I like him. I'm having fun with the character. I only just got my last perks that were assigned, and so yeah, I'm like level 21, 22, whatever. I haven't leveled up a whole lot more. Speaking of leveling up, Fallout 76,
Oh, yeah.
I am like level 299.8. I am so close
right on
to my
the,
goal,
Right on the precipice there.
finally hitting 300. I played a whole lot the other night and didn't level up. But I had just hit 299 before I started playing. But yeah, a couple hours I'm playing, fighting a lot of things, did some events. I thought I would level for sure. I haven't, but probably next week I'll be celebrating finally Real Champions Club, level 300, all my legendary perks. I'm calling it now, which means that I probably won't get it, but knock on IKEA, right? But what I did get up to in 76, a lot more Meat Week. I've done probably 8 more Meat Week runs. I did 4 or 5 the other night, and then a couple off and on in the afternoons. Haven't got the weenie wagon yet. Have not got the weenie wagon. Haven't got the special night. Haven't gotten the whole Megalopteroptidus octagon skeleton. Do you know about this, Ray?
No.
So there is a skeleton model you can get at Meat Week now called a Megalopteroptidus octagon, or something like that. I can't pronounce it.
I'm sure that's correct.
It's got to be, right? And it's basically like a dinosaur creature skeleton that you can get the different parts for Meat Week as a reward and then assemble it together in your camp out of like 5 different pieces. You get like the foreleg, the hind leg,
Whoa.
the tail, the weird bony snout. I don't know, but various pieces. I don't even have one of them. Actually, wait. No, I don't think I even have one. The one complaint about that I've heard from people is that it's a display item. So in order to show it in your camp, you need to put it on display. But they each weigh like 10 pounds a piece. So displaying the whole thing is 50 pounds of your stash. 50 pounds. Andrew, do you have 50 free pounds in your stash all the time?
Is 50 more or less than 11.99?
It is, yeah, that would not be enough. That would be 1 pound free in your stash.
Then no, I'm probably not going to be able to do that.
See, Andrew can't display this. What if he wants to display the Megalopteroptidus octagon? He can't.
I have to scrap 400,000 Fashnacht berets.
Really? I didn't know we had that much in common.
No, I was pretending to be you for a second.
I know. I've hit max stash a few times in the last year, though. I try to get it down close to 1,100, so I have some free, but it's getting closer and closer. The berets take up more and more room.
They do. Each year you gain at least 100, 200 each time Fashnacht rolls around.
Exactly.
You get the ones that you collect yourself, but then like everyone you know now just dumps them off on you every time.
They do. I get messages from people, hey, if you pop over on PC, I've got a bunch of Fashnacht berets for you.
That's so hilarious.
People know.
It's a thing.
People know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm actually helping them because they need them in their stash too. So if they're saving them for me, they're making the world a better place by having them already in their own stash that they get rid of them. Beautifying the wasteland one head at a time, or mostly your stash box.
Put them in the vendor. That's the way you spread the love for a cap.
Like, yeah, right. Put them in there for 19,999 caps.
No, a cap for a cap. How about that?
Okay, that's fair too. But I think of them, it's like the Ark of the Covenant, you know? You get them and then you're like, haha, I have it. Then you lock it away in the warehouse of your stash forever.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we open it on a mountaintop and then it melts our faces off.
Well, I mean, you come see, come saw, right? Anywho, 76. So, did a bunch of Meat Weeks. I am making progress there. I did get a few plans I didn't know. Apparently, I didn't know the Pepper Shaker plan on my main. Even though I have one, it was made and given to me. I think I have it on my main on PC, but I didn't have an Xbox. So that was cool to learn. A few other things. I've got some of the meats. I've got all the pigs. I've got most of the stuff, but I do not have the weenie wagon, which is, of course, the one thing I want. Do you know what the weenie wagon gives you when you go up to it and you order something? Ray, can you guess what you get from the weenie wagon?
Rads.
In a manner of speaking by proxy, but no, it gives you dog food. You would expect you would get hot dogs, a delicious glizzy, but no, you're getting dog food from the weenie wagon.
Well, and as soon as they give you a nice source of dog food, they're going to stop making eat 10 dog food a daily.
So you're in favor of the weenie wagon then? See, I'm in
favor of a constant source of dog food where I wouldn't have to do a loop of locations in order to find 10, which is unreasonable. That is a weekly value, not a daily value.
Yes. Speaking of a source of dog food or something similar, there is a plan going around. There are people out there who now have camps with multiple Brahmin. Technically, you can only place one Brahmin per camp as a source of fertilizer, but there is a glitch happening. And I'm not going to tell you where to look and find one, but if this is something you're interested in, having multiple Brahmin, it is out there that there is a way to place more than one Brahmin. So just be aware. If you're a person building a camp and you're like, man, I need 4 or 5 Brahmin, it might be possible, but only limited time. Well,
You want to
Well,
set
glitches
up your
last.
ranch there in West Virginia, then
Mm-hmm.
we got a head, 500 head of cattle here for you.
but I cannot wait to get my weenie wagon and I'll be riding on my wiener roller and just like hanging out and dishing dogs. I don't know. I hope
But
I
you said
get it.
you
I have
hadn't
3 more
gotten any
days.
of that stuff yet.
It's the one thing I want from Meat Week. I don't really like the new plushies.
Are you prepared to sync to AFK?
I could. Like, I think I mentioned I ran into Bob the last week. a
Oh,
week ago.
Bob's been the king of AFK.
He's always on. Yeah, he's been drumming his little heart out. Hopefully he's probably got weenie wagons galore. We'll see. Anyway, I
Well,
did that.
Maybe
I
he'll
ran
give
around
you
with some-
one then.
Ran around with some friends. We looked for a new build spot for one of my friends and try and just find a location with an NPC that's flat enough or interesting enough to build on. It's always fun scouting out camp locations. And the cool thing about doing that is that when you're doing it on foot, because I know a lot of neat camp locations over the years, and so do other people. But, the exact location, you kind of got to scout out to find them again. And so we just ended up roaming a lot of the map, and that was a really good time.
How? I was just curious. Have you ever had a camp at a spot, and then they have redesigned the location, but you still leave your camp there, so you can still sort of see the remnants of what used to be there when you originally built the camp? If that makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah, that does. So there are a couple things that can happen with that. Sometimes a place that was previously green zone and can't buildable becomes red zone because they change what's there. They might add a location, they might add a spawn point, this or that. But that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about if you can build in a location and then they change the location, but your camp is still there.
Yeah, my example is that I found a place near the river near West Tech or not whatever the other place is where the Big Ghoul event is. There was the reason I built there is because there was an NPC who I thought was funny, and there was a trash barrel fire there, and they would walk around and warm their hands on it and just say stuff. So I built a camp there just so I could have an NPC walking around. But I built a Christmas camp there, so I closed it down for a bunch of months, and then I brought it back up this past Christmas, and that NPC and their trash barrel fire were gone. But I had built my spooky treat bowl
Right?
on top of the trash fire. So
So is it just hanging out in
it
the
was
air?
just floating there, yeah, in the middle of the air, and it was like everything that was I built stuff on. It was like everything was floating and in place, and it was just funny that they had redesigned, but everything's still there.
Have you loaded that camp multiple times or only once or twice to see if it
No,
ever
yeah,
pops
it's
back?
there. It's always floating. Yeah.
Neat. I was curious because sometimes, parts of the landscape won't load. So it was possible that it just didn't load that time. But if it's been multiple, then yeah, they have
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
him or changed the area.
Yeah, they
one
took
thing
away
that-
that NPC.
With this last update or two, a number of people had the area that they were in change. For instance, when we played together and we were looking at some of the new starter areas, the beginner areas where you can meet the different factions, the Moth cultists and the people from Foundation and even some Creator Raiders. A lot of people, they put the new caves there where the Moth cultists are. And that was a very popular camp location by that junk pile there. So now people have a big old opening to a moth cave right in the middle of their camp area. That's a pretty funny one. There have been others, especially when they brought NPCs in, both with obviously Wastelanders, but even with Steel Rain and Steel Dawn. We got a lot of Brotherhood NPCs with crashed vertibirds or Brotherhood NPCs by, dividers, barricades, that's what you call them. And those popped into a lot of people's camps because they're all buildable and they were in like popular flat areas. So yeah, that definitely happened to people. I've never had that happen with something popping up except, that I'm in a prime cuts area on my main camp. So my main camp turned to, during every meat week, I get floor meat all the time.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I
the meat
remember
just
that.
pops up out of the floor and the ground and all that. So that happened. And of course, Ron's big camp, one of my first favorite camp when I built the pyramid, his cool temple run, temple, what lived for about a week and a half, 2 weeks after being completed. And then boom, that's where they put the imposter sheep squatch. And it was gone.
Pasta.
Now, it's probably good that they made it so I couldn't build there anymore, because having an imposter sheep squash in my camp would have been messy.
Ooh. Yeah.
But still, I do. I've always kind of missed that a little bit, because it was my first time doing that sort of build. So I just
Imagine
would
it'd
like
be-
to still have it.
Imagine he'd be a bad house guest.
Beyond that, I think that's about my 76 play. Scoreboard, I'm getting high 60s now. Probably 68 or so. Not all the way there, but getting there. Yeah, I think I better get a move on. I want to make sure I get it done. And so we will see.
Have you
Actually, I may even say this now. I have it in Iguana Bits, but I just want to, be sure. So people know that we're getting the Skyline Valley update in June. It's on the calendar. We're all excited. That'll be when the new season starts too, almost definitely. The expectation has been that it's going to be probably starting June 25th. That's a Tuesday. There's a double score weekend right before, June 20th, 24th. And it makes sense it would be near the end of the month because they don't necessarily want to interfere with, the key party and all that coming up next week. But we also have Fashnacht on the 25th. So do they launch Fashnacht and the new season and all the new content on the same day? Maybe, but it's possible it'll be sooner. So don't count on having all of June. If you're a person who really wants to make it to level 92 or level 100 on the scoreboard and you're not there yet, and you're like, oh, I've got 4 weeks, I think I would say be safe and focus on getting it done. Don't be lax. Do what you can. Obviously, don't kill yourself grinding or anything. But, do your challenges. Don't skip a week because it might be sooner than you think. So, yeah, that's just my little PSA. And that's pretty much my gameplay. Been having a lot of fun with the Fallouts.
Super duper fun. Alrighty. My gameplay should be fairly quick. I have been playing Shelter, of course. I finally got up to special 50. So all of the maxed out stats with the maximum hit points. So I'm up to 50 of those. 25% of the way. All right. I have only one quest line that is appearing anymore when I open up my quest log, except for the repeating ones that are not actual quests. So I feel like they're drawing up there a little bit, and I need some more quests. I wish that we were allowed to be like you high and mighty mobile Shelter players and get the aliens.
This may be the only
No.
win that mobile players have, though. They don't have controllers for the most part, unless they've got, fancy things or pair their controller.
Oh, yeah.
They've got the
Yeah.
tiny screen,
Yeah.
No mods.
No mods.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine
Mods,
Nexus
Shelter.
mobile version? Or wait, Vortex mobile version, like controlling and handling the file structure on a phone? That would be great.
I'm sure there are like mods, but what would you mod in Shelter?
There's a few things on the page. Mostly outfits and stuff like
okay.
that.
Okay.
That would be awesome. Like you say, what would you mod in Shelter? I mean, everything, right? You could add new quests. You could add new characters.
Yeah.
You could allow cousin stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Allow
Not that I'm saying you
cousin
should.
stuff.
But
Oh, she loves the cousin stuff.
no,
My,
he hates the cousin stuff, Precious.
My my thing would be add all of the bad guys that are described in the quest log when you send someone out adventuring, but you never actually see them invade your vault. Like they list super mutants, they list centaurs, they list I don't know, there's like 4 or 5 other bad guys that you never actually see attack your vault that are described in the happenings, the events of your quest log.
See, that's super cool. Ray, did you pull up the Nexus mods page for Shelter?
I did.
Yeah, I did too. So I figured we had the exact same
what do you
idea.
got? What do you got?
You want to land into some of the most popular?
So
Endurance 7 outfit, something or other.
So there, a lot of them are saves. So they've they've already got everything maxed out, and then they give you the save, and you make it your own. But custom outfits, New Vegas costumes.
I like
what
this
else?
colored jumpsuits one where you can get all your vault suits in all kinds of different colors, like red, green, yellow. Color coordinate. Maybe if you did that, you can make your all of your strength room people in red, and all of your Nuka-Cola people in orange. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
Remember
Vault security gear, Wasteland combat armor.
Vault 420 Fallout
Outfits.
Shelter Vault save. Okay, I've got to look at this one. It doesn't tell us what's special about it. What's special about Vault 420?
And then, no mod collection would be complete without the Fallout Shelter nude mod.
Do we no longer get
Oh, that's
they go into the
hilarious.
back room when they're, Oh my goodness, how goofy is that? I didn't even see that one, Ray. That's hilarious. Vault 99 sounds interesting, though. This vault is an abandoned vault. There is no one in the vault. They all left for some reason, and all they left behind was their wealth. So you can go explore the vault, and oh, okay, I see. It's an abandoned vault with, you get 999,000 caps in it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. You pass a certain threshold where you don't need caps anymore.
But none of these are available on phone. I'm sorry, Andrew.
So remember last week, couple weeks ago, I don't remember, we were talking about the possibility of creating Fallout Shelter multiplayer where you design shelters for like traps and for challenge your friends to go through your maze or whatever. Could someone mod something like that? Is that a possibility that someone could mod something like that using the pieces of Shelter, the artifacts of Shelter?
You'd think. Yeah, I mean, there's not a creation kit for Shelter per se, right? So they'd have to understand how to work with mobile files and mod differently, but
Let's see. Anything else in Shelter? I don't think so. I have been playing a good deal of Skyrim as well. My big accomplishment this week is I got a new friend named Hilda. You guys know Hilda?
Hilda, strong arm? Trying to think what her name would be.
Ray, you know Hilda?
Oh, wait, is she the older lady
No.
who
no,
helps
no.
out at the Bannered Mare?
She might be an older lady, but she don't work at the Banner Mare. Ray, you know Hilda? Know
I don't have
Hilda?
a guess.
It's this goat that you can get. That's your companion that follows you around.
Halvar's goat in Rorikstead. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, not to be confused with Gletta the goat. that you get from the Sanguine quest.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that quest and have 2 goats following me around. This is going to be the best. So I got Hilda the goat, which is great. You can treat her just like a follower. She does not attack in battle, but you can load all of your junk on her. And I had Janessa for a while. I hired her at the I don't know what's the inn there. Right as you walk into I almost said White Spring, White Run.
The funny thing about that is people often don't even know it's there. Like archery shop and tavern, and people walk right by it constantly.
Yeah, they always go up the way.
Drunken Huntsman.
Drunken Huntsman, yes. So I hired Janessa and took her out for a while, but she had an accident with a frost rune that I don't know who laid a frost rune. I don't know any frost mages who might have done
Are you by
that.
any chance playing a mage this
I don't
playthrough?
know who I don't know anything about that. But we were in Sarthal. The
nice.
amulet of Rurgurgur, or whoever.
That's one of the starting quests for the Mages Guild. Yeah,
Yeah,
Winterhold.
exactly. I went up there so I could, because I wanted, get access to as much of the frost spells as I can, and frost enchantments and whatnot. So I'm trying to do all that, but I find it so difficult to be able to move around outside at all up there. Being an Argonian, I just can't get myself warm enough. And I can't tell the difference between the goddamn torches that you can take off the wall and the ones that you can't. I spend way too much time trying to pull torches off the wall that I can't, because I know you can pull some of them off. I just can't tell the difference yet. It's like, God damn it. But so I don't have enough torches. Can you buy those? Like, I haven't found them in any shops or anything, and I can't find enough of them to pull off of walls to keep myself warm. But being an Argonian up north being outside is just punishing. In like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm dead.
Like
from
I've
exposure.
heard about the misery Michael had doing this. Obviously, Ray is far more familiar with the ins and outs of Skyrim and Skyrim survival than I am. But even Stelior in chat says, "Wait, he's playing survival? Oh God." Yeah, Argonians and survival, especially, don't mix.
Yeah. It's the only race that has negative stats in survival.
Well, if it wasn't a challenge, it wouldn't be a challenge, right?
Sure.
So you just have to run around in furs.
Of course, you chose the guild furthest north.
Yeah, I've got furs on, and I doubt that it actually helps with the heat, but I'm like shooting flames out of my hands and stuff as I'm running around. I doubt that actually helps, but if carrying a torch helps, why wouldn't shooting flames out of my goddamn hands help? It only makes sense.
It's a cold heat.
It's a cold heat.
That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. So I felt bad about Janessa, but I decided I'm not going to reload and do that thing where I save everyone and reload and everyone lives and happily ever after, and I'll go find another mercenary somewhere, right? Also, I found a fun place that I've never used as a stash. Early on in the game, generally I'll use Anissa's cabin or something like that, or I'll find, I don't know, just a barrel somewhere that I like and just use that. But as you pass the Western Watchtower, you keep going. The first fort there, is that Greymore? I don't remember what it's actually called. Is it Fort Greymore?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Right before Fort Greymore, there is a small ruins of a house that has a bed and no roof, just like a foot plan of the floor, a chimney, a bed, and there's a little hole in the floor over to the southeast corner. And in that hole, there's a chest in the ground. So I've got storage and a bed there that I've been using a lot. And it's been actually really awesome because it's sort of centralized where I can like make a run out to the western side or make a run back to I keep saying fucking White Spring. What's it called? White Run.
White Run.
Yeah, White Run.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone to the far eastern portion of the map at all yet. I haven't gone to Riften. I haven't gone to Winterhold or anything.
Any of the warm places.
I should go there. Goddamn.
It's a big game, Andrew. So it's also, not a surprise that you haven't been everywhere yet. It takes quite a while, especially if you're doing specific guilds.
Well, and you can't
can do
fast
the-
travel either. Each time I want to go somewhere, I have to either hire the carriage or hoof it.
Yeah.
But
Hiring the carriage is the best way to get it on your map.
But I just got my first horse, so that's nice. It makes it so much faster to get around.
Did you follow Ray's wild horse tip or do something else?
No, I haven't done that yet. How did I get my horse?
You can buy them for 1,000 gold.
I think that's probably what I did, but I want to go. I have like a map or something. I want to go catch him like Ray was talking about.
Yeah,
So-
the easiest one is just right outside of White Run. If you leave the front of White Run,
No, you're right. I did. That's the one I have actually. It's yeah. How did I do that? You had to tame it somehow.
yeah, you hop on. It tries to buck you off.
Right. It did buck me off actually. I had to get back on it a couple times.
Yeah, it's always rough because I play in first person. But every time you get bucked off, it automatically throws you into third person.
That's going to be very
And,
disconcerting.
So then you got to, you have to run chase after the horse to catch it again. So I'm constantly bouncing back and forth.
The cool thing here, too, is you're playing Anniversary Edition for the first time. So there are
Yeah.
a whole lot of buildings and player homes and such that weren't in the original game. So you will eventually find a place to call your own. I mean, I know you like living out of a barrel, but I found the building
I
you're
take that as
talking
a
about
personal attack.
on the interactive map. Well, I mean, you're talking about your fire barrel for your candy that disappeared. I was like, yeah, no, you're a barrel kind of guy. I get it.
I love
But-
a good barrel.
But I found that building without a roof, and yeah, that's a good location. I think I've used it before too. So
Yeah, no, it doesn't have any crafting or anything, but it's storage and a place to sleep, which is your save and your level up. It's weird that you have to sleep to level up. Haven't really experienced that before. Oh, and I find it super frustrating that I chose to be a mage, but the tiredness meter is measured against your magic. So if you don't sleep often enough, your magic suffers. And I don't find as many beds as I remember there just being beds everywhere, and I was like, oh, this won't be a big deal. But like, I don't know if they removed half the beds or if I just was overestimating the amount of beds that I used to remember being everywhere. But like, I'm constantly exhausted, and I was like, man, am I gonna have to load a tent mod or like something where I can like do a quick save and
You might need to.
sleep
Yeah,
or something?
camping is good for that. But, also you've got all the inns.
But you gotta, since I can't fast travel, gotta run all the way goddamn there. It's just,
There's inns everywhere.
I'm getting
and
used to it. I'm
Argonian is a
getting used to it.
popper. I do think with survival in Skyrim, with the reputation it has, yeah, you wouldn't be remiss adding a couple mods to make it a little nicer.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
at,
and the double whammy on Argonians is not only do you have the debuff, but your one big advantage that you can swim underwater is negated because there's no water warm enough to swim in without killing you. So it's like no win.
yeah,
It'd
you
be like
freeze to death.
having Aqua Boy or Aqua Girl in survival to be able to travel everywhere like you do, and then have Will's rad problem where it's still killing you every time.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna not remember the name of the inn. Nightingale? No.
Yeah,
Something.
that is an
an
inn.
Yep.
I was there.
Oh, Nightgate.
Nightgate. There you go. Nightingale.
That's the one between Windhelm and Whiterun, kind of
yeah.
on the high road.
Up north, I was like sprinting south as fast as I could to get out of the cold, and I stopped at the end to warm up. But while there, I met a super fucking suspicious orc who was like paying long-term rent and doing something very strange in the basement. I just couldn't tell what, and I couldn't get any quest to like launch or anything. Is there something surrounding him that I'm not
Dark
noticing?
Brotherhood.
Okay. I haven't launched that yet because I was just like, there's definitely a quest happening here. I just can't get it to go. You know what I mean? It's like something weird is happening with this dude. He is very, very
Yeah.
suspicious.
Yeah. You interact with him with the Dark Brotherhood quest line.
And I have to launch that, and I haven't done that yet. Okay, very cool. Let's see. Any other stuff? No. Oh, yeah. My audio feedback file. There was one more, yet another version of Skyrim besides the anniversary. I never played the anniversary edition, so I started playing that one last week. But there was one final version of Skyrim that I had yet to play, and I finally got around to playing that today when I was cooking dinner. So I just sent a little feedback about that.
After heading out on the road, you meet a guard who says he used to be an adventurer like you until he threw his back out chopping wood. You suggest he come up with a more adventurous sounding story to impress the maidens. The guard thinks for a moment and nods. Soon, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a fortified town, in the other is a spooky lighthouse. Where would you like to go?
Spooky lighthouse.
Once at the spooky lighthouse, a Nord Vigilant of Stendar greets you. She tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby forest that has been terrorizing the spooky lighthouse. Will you lend your spell and steel to her cause?
Yes.
You follow the quest marker to your destination. At the entrance to the forest, you see a cooking spit. Looks like someone had some apple and cabbage stew. Are you ready to face the peril ahead?
Can I eat the apple and cabbage stew?
Are you ready to face the peril ahead?
Yes.
Rabbits and foxes scatter as you enter a forest clearing. A skulking death hound growls at you. His master may be close by. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast a spell.
Your lightning bolt electrocutes the death hound. The room strobes with lightning. When the dust clears, the death hound is left singed and dead. You have triumphed. You have 100 health.
And I thought that was actually pretty fun. I played it probably for much too long for the novelty to wear off, and I don't know. I was just hanging out in the kitchen and just played it for a pretty
Andrew,
long time.
when that came out, I think I played like most nights before bed for at least one adventure, if not two or three, for probably a couple months. It was a
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I'd never actually, done that before, but it was pretty entertaining. Will they actually let you? I mean, I know that they said it's sort of like all the self-generating things. Will they actually? Is there a main quest ever? Like, do you ever fight dragons and go against? Do you have to do the Parthenax stuff at the end or anything?
Never stuck with it that long.
No.
Do you want to press on and face the peril?
Can I eat the apple cabbage stew?
Do you want to press on and face the peril?
She didn't even consider my question for supper at all.
This is what I'm saying. No, there is no Parthenax. There is no main quest story, really. I would say that, like Ray, I had never pressed on enough to find out, but I did. I can't imagine there's anything beyond what I experienced. So the funniest thing about it, and you probably, if you did a couple of dungeons, found this, or different locations, you always get at the end the conveniently looped around. Oh my goodness. What a great coincidence.
What a super great coincidence.
Yeah, that cracks me up just like a Skyrim dungeon always does.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was one of the best Bethesda commercials ever.
It was so good.
So,
Expand on that. What do you mean?
well, they did for the, was it E3 that they did the announcement?
Yes. Mhm.
So it looked like it was a joke, because they were talking about all the different, versions of Skyrim. And so then they played this commercial that was, it was like a complete joke about him, sitting on the couch. I think it was a comedic actor. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Keegan Michael Key, I think, from Key and Peele.
Yeah. And, so he starts playing it. And then all of a sudden you realize, holy crap, we can do this too.
Yeah, he's actually like he's getting really into it. Alexa shout, and he's swinging the sword and stuff. It was pretty sweet. It was a good commercial. But it was fun because there were various locations. It could be a cave, it could be a dungeon, it could be a fort, it could be like a mysterious mountain or dark forest.
And I was always choosing the most dangerous path. There was always either 2 or 3 choices in front of you. It's like there are 3 pathways in front of you. One leads through a sunlit grassy knoll with bunnies and foxes. The second is a doorway with a smoking roof, and the third is a treacherous bridge made of bones. And you're like, yeah, I'll go on the treacherous bridge made of bones. That sounds like a good idea.
I love it. I mean, hey, why not, right? And it's funny because they're tricking you because obviously the bones could be.
Yeah, they're the friendliest bones you've ever met. It's great.
If they did that for Fallout, how would they implement it?
I was gonna ask Alexa if to play Fallout 4 just to see if they did that yet.
Yeah,
But
I don't believe
didn't
they
do it.
have.
And sorry to anyone who I just said the A word. they just popped on.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but I imagine, they can do it with specific like vaults. You would find maybe a vault, you would find a raider base. There aren't that many places. Different abandoned buildings that are common in the game. I could see that. But yeah, so that's really fun.
Yeah, no, it's totally silly, but I had a good time with it. So yeah, that's pretty much my gameplay. Let me see if I actually jotted anything else down. I don't think I did. No, that's it. So yeah, let's go ahead and see. Jess, did you want to play a game or go into Iguana Bits?
Yeah, let's do our game.
All
So
right.
y'all, this might be a little bit hard mode, but I prepared a wowie for y'all tonight.
What time is it?
What time is it? Game time!
Let's play Wowie.
So previously, when we've done wowie, we have done locations in the games. So it's been, wowie stands for which one was it anyway, and which one was it even. And, you can spell anyway with an E, right? Sure, of course you can. But this time we're doing wowie NPC names. I know NPC names are Andrew's blind spot.
Absolutely.
And Ray doesn't necessarily love them
I'll
either.
be like, that guy from that town who did that thing from that one quest. You know the guy I'm talking about.
So we're doing it different. This is wowie NPC names Fallout 3. I just need to tell me, was it in one of the DLCs? And if you know which one, then you let me know that we played. Or is it in the main game? So Fallout 3
Jesus.
main game NPC, Fallout 3 DLC NPC.
Well, congratulations, Ray.
And
You win. Well
and
done.
I tried to pick semi-easy ones you can figure out. Also,
Okay.
I know I shouldn't say that, but maybe I have faith.
That's just insulting, adding fuel to the fire.
I have prepared lifelines for you. So there are a total of 11, and you're each going to get 3 lifelines. So lifeline 1 is ask chat. You can ask chat, and people listening along can weigh in, let us know what they think it is. And you can, decide if you think they know what they're talking about or not.
Wait a second. Let me see who's in the peanut gallery tonight. Uh-oh, it's Eric. I don't know if I can trust him.
We've got Eric and Clint, and Randy
maybe
was
Randy
there.
can help. I don't know.
Brandon,
Jeez.
we'll see.
We need to brush up on our security for this chat room. Look at all these ruffians we're letting in here.
So we've got that, but then also your other lifeline is hint. I will give you a hint.
Nice.
So you get 2 of the ask chats. So that's why I said 3. You get 2 ask chats and 1 hint. Do you want 2 hints? I can give you 2 hints if you really want them.
I'll probably use all the hints you'll give me. So don't start
Okay.
offering more because I'll take them.
We'll see how you do, but I have faith in y'all. So we're going to start with Wowie. We're going to be NPC. Is it main game or DLC? And Ray, pick heads or tails.
Heads.
Okay, you're going first. I flipped a coin in Discord and Codsworth gave us heads. So here we
Wait,
go.
You flipped a coin in Discord? They have a coin flipper?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I've got
How's that work?
Codsworth set up to do a bunch of little things like that.
Nice. I want to play.
So, Ray, Lucas Sims.
That would be the Sheriff of Megaton.
Good job. Point for Ray. You are correct.
Wow.
Wow.
Andrew,
What's up?
you are next.
Oh, no.
Main game or DLC?
I don't know.
Abraham Washington.
Oh, that's main game. Main game. I know that one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Point for Andrew. Well played.
All right, that's the last one.
We'll see. I told you I picked ones that aren't necessarily the hardest. They're not necessarily easy either, but they're not the hardest. Okay, you're up next, Ray. General Constantine Chase.
That would be DLC.
DLC.
Anchorage.
Yes, Operation Anchorage. Well played. Good job, Ray. Okay, Andrew, you're up
Okay.
next.
All right, here we go.
O-Dog. Character named O-Dog.
That was a DLC, I think, because we made some joke about him being related to Three Dog. So that's a DLC. I don't remember which one it was. Let's guess. Wait, are we getting bonus points if we guess the DLC? Which one?
You're
it is?
correct. No, just curious if you remember. Take a wild stab.
It was gonna just be a wild guess. It was the Pit.
Yes, you are correct on all counts. The crowd is
Nicely
going
done.
wild. Okay. Here we go. What is up next? Ray, we are back to you. Shorty. Shorty.
Shouty.
Is Shorty the main game or DLC? Remember, you can ask chat. You can ask for a hint. You have lifelines.
I'll go for the hint.
Okay. Shorty. You rescue him with another character named Red.
Oh,
Red and Short.
main game.
Main game is
Little
correct.
Big Town.
You got it. Well played. I'm going to mark down 1 lifeline gone.
How many do we get?
Okay.
How many lifelines? 2?
3.
Three.
3. You can,
Wow.
yeah. And you know what? I'll let you choose if you want to ask chat or ask for a hint. Although I was going to no, you know what? We're sticking with the rules as I said them. 2 ask chats, 1 ask for a hint. So Ray, you've used your hint, unless you're desperate. You're going to have to rely on chat after this. Okay. Andrew. Desmond, the ghoul.
I actually have 0 clue. Let's ask the chat.
Chat. Do you want to help Andrew here?
They're going to
Is
say
Desmond
no.
in the Fallout 3 main game or DLC?
I see someone's watching Lost, brother.
Okay, Ray, you are not the chat. but someone named Ray in chat says DLC. Brennan and Andeninden also says DLC. And Solior says DLC. Do you trust them? Or do you want to go your own way?
Solior says asshat.
He doesn't like him.
Is that an
He
answer?
did say asshat. Solior does not like this character.
Is that right? Oh no, point lookout. I mean, sorry.
Yes, DLC. You are correct.
The asshat DLC was so much better.
The asshat DLC. Okay. Next up, Ray. Sergeant Benjamin Montgomery. Sergeant Benjamin Montgomery.
I'm gonna go main game.
Okay. And that
But
is...
it was actually Anchorage.
Yes! You realized before I said. Andrew, do we give it to him or we cutthroat? I think we're cutthroat, right?
I got it wrong.
Yep. It was
Yo,
DLC
come on, give
Operation
it to him.
Anchorage.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
No, we're keeping real score this time. He could have used a lifeline. He chose not to. Okay.
All right. What's he
Next up,
saving them
Andrew.
for? I don't even know how many rounds we have in total. That would actually play into when I use my.
We are over
Lifelines.
halfway. We are over halfway done.
I don't even remember how many I've done.
Yep.
Like 3.
Yep. You've each done 3, which means
Okay.
6. Actually, and Ray just did his 4th, so that's 7. So you've only got 4 left to go. So you could use a lifeline each round and still be okay.
Hey, all right.
Okay. Confessor Cromwell. Confessor Cromwell.
Okay. So he's from Fallout 3, right? But I know him from Shelter.
Main game or DLC?
I know from Shelter. He's got to be from main game because he's in Shelter. So I'll say main game.
Final answer?
Yes.
For Megaton.
Well played. He is the head of the Church of Adam in Megaton.
Oh,
You need a
okay.
hint on that one.
The Confessor. Yeah.
Okay, we're back to you, Ray. The Bear Brothers.
That is the pit.
DLC, The Pit. Correct, sir. Another point for Ray.
The Bear Brothers.
Hey, Andrew, this one's back to you. This may be harder, we will see. Toshiro Kago. Toshiro
That
Kago.
is the samurai from the spaceship Mothership Zeta.
Correct, sir. Way to go. That was number 5. Let's see if Ray can bring it home.
Kaboom.
Actually, that was my original 11. So I think he took it. Ray, I think he took it.
What?
I think Andrew won, yeah.
What? I got the
Amazing.
easy ones.
Well played, y'all. Let me just count. I want to make sure I didn't skip one because I'm feeling like I skipped one. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6,
if you
7,
had 11, it would have been unbalanced. So
11. Yeah, I did. I had that bonus there. But I asked them all. So well done, Andrew. With 5 points, there is one more. But that would make it unbalanced. So Ray's right. Okay, Ray, I'll give you a bonus to see if you could tie it up.
Go, Ray, go.
Dukov.
what place is he in?
I don't know what kind of place would a guy named Dukov live.
I mean, it'd have to be Dukov's place.
Yes, indeed. It is Dukov in Dukov's place. So there we go. With one extra round for Ray, he does tie it up. But I think we can declare Andrew the official winner. You know why I thought that I had already asked Dukov? Because I need to clean my monitor. I've got like a little fleck of something on my monitor that looks like I'm in a check mark next to it. But no, it's a little fleck of something. I'm just trying to figure out why I know there's 11. I only did 10, but I marked all 11. I'm so confused. Anyhow, well played. You guys didn't even use all your lifelines. And you made it through this round of Wowie.
That's
well
great.
done, Andrew and Ray.
Good round. Good game. Got another round in you?
I figured if I did NPCs. I would make them not like the most obscure ones, but they weren't
Yeah.
all easy either.
I appreciate that.
You totally got Toshiro Gato.
Well, I mean, how many Japanese people have we run into in Fallout 3 DLCs?
A few.
A few?
But yeah,
Okay.
that name is kind of unique. And yeah, if you had have asked for a hint, I would have said he does not speak English. And that probably would have made it very clear. Or you would remember that he didn't ever speak.
Yeah.
And just did gestures at you.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Jess. Very fun game. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got on the agenda. We know we've got Iguana Bits, so we'll go ahead and roll in there and check and see what we've got in the way of some news.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Why, thank you, Jess. You know, there's nothing I love more than a fresh plate of iguana bits, but not from Iguana Bob, okay? We do not trust Iguana Bob's bits. Those are not the best bits. They are the worst bits.
The taste.
But there was a little bit of talk in the Discord today, actually yesterday, about the iguanas in Fallout. And yeah, we do actually see some iguanas in the game. There are whole iguanas in Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas. You can see the whole iguanas on a stick. But we don't really ever see them running around. We got geckos in New Vegas, of course. And there might be iguanas like scattering across the screen in the background or a few things. But yeah, no, we don't have iguanas.
Yeah,
really in
geckos
the
would have to be a gecko on a pole.
They're pretty large. Maybe a gecko foot, like a stuffed gecko foot. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a good delicacy to me. Anyway,
I mean, I always thought that was
Pickled gecko feet.
and I always thought that was the joke. I always thought that iguana was really the substitute for, human flesh, right? Isn't that the joke?
That's
Well,
iguana
that-
bits.
yeah, so that's Iguana Bits with Iguana Bob. But technically, Iguana Bits elsewhere in the game are not human. But in the first game, you get the whole thing where Iguana Bob is being in the hub, is being supplied from Junktown by that doctor who's selling
Yeah,
him
right.
dead peoples.
And that
And so
doesn't
those-
propagate through the rest of the games?
You took care of Iguana Bob in the first game. He's not still alive. So is someone else passing off people bits as Iguana Bits? It's possible.
I always thought that that's what their implication was, that iguana, finger quotes, it's really people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you
But-
get that same thing in Vegas.
Mhm.
Because the guy in Freeside that's selling meat out on the street.
Yeah, he's selling the meat.
Where did you get your meat from, sir? Don't you worry about that. The meat is fine.
But he actually has iguana on a stick. So it's fair to think that guy who has iguana on a stick has legit iguana bits. I'm just saying iguanas aren't necessarily always, they're not soylent iguanas.
Do iguanas live out west in the desertous region?
No, it's more Chuck Wallace.
It's like they have this
Who's Chuck
on.
Wallace?
Chuck Wallace. He sounds like a local weatherman. Chuck Wallace.
That's what it sounded like to me, some kind of coach.
Yeah,
Coach for the LA Raiders, Chuck Wallace.
Chuck Wallace.
Chucko Wallace?
Yep.
I've never heard of those. All right.
So
Yeah.
desert iguanas are a thing in the
Oh,
Mojave
cool.
Desert and the Sonoran Desert in northwest Mexico. So they are out there
Neat. Yeah,
doing-
totally.
doing iguana stuff. That's just a bit of information about iguana in Iguana
This has
Bits.
been
We're
a
going
cool-
meta this week.
This has been Iguana Corner. No, we should just call it Iguana Bits because it's, that's... Oh,
How convenient. We already do. So get into the real news.
real bits.
Circana report. For those who don't know, Circana is the new name for the last year, actually. The NPD has been under. They just renamed. And the NPD report, or Circana report now, is where they talk about, which consoles. Basically, they track the stats of the games industry. Consoles, games, digital, physical, different sales, and a number of other charts. But this is exciting. Circana report for April is in, and the fourth best-selling game in the world was Fallout 4.
for
in
this
April.
month because what the show I assume has had a major
Yep,
influx
in
on
April of 2024, an 8-year-old game, 8.5-year-old game, was fourth best-selling game in the world. The eighth best-selling game was Fallout 76 on the Circana report.
I thought you were going to say New Vegas.
How ridiculous is that? New Vegas was up there, but I don't think it was top 10. I don't think it was top 10 on the report. You have to be subscribed to see the full Circana report. You know what I mean? It's one of those industry kind of things, but they release some of the information and the basic top 10 or 20 list, depending on the month. Along those same lines, Fallout 76 hit 20 million players. I don't think they had tweeted out about that yet. No, I think that was just a couple days ago. So yeah, they have said we have passed 20 million players in Fallout 76. Last time we heard a player count was 17 million. That was around the holidays. So we've got another 3 million people trying Fallout 76 in the last few months, obviously, mostly because of the Fallout TV show and just, all the good word on the street.
So why do they track Fallout 4 in terms of individual sales, but 76 gets tracked by players, not how many copies are sold?
Okay, so in this case, once again, this is a new story. So the Circana, Fallout 76 was the 8th most sold game, but I think they're probably including downloads on that for Game Pass. I actually don't know that on the Circana report, so don't quote me. But yeah, it was 8th. This is a separate article that it was an announcement by Bethesda on their Twitter and other social medias.
Okay.
And then there have been articles now. And the reason they track players for a lot of games these days, especially Xbox titles, anything in Game Pass, is because people will download the game on Game Pass, but they don't necessarily buy it. You know what I mean? It goes into a lump thing. It's a pool now. So as a subscription model, a lot more people may play than will actually fork out to own it permanently. And they can't really track who's doing what. So, they can look at downloads, but player base is a more trackable metric. Anyway, we've added 3 million
Very cool.
with the show since December. And there's an article in Variety. They're pulling quotes from previous interviews. I mentioned how Todd and Jonah had an interview with IGN about the show shortly after the release. And they used this quote from Todd in there where he says, "It's been kind of sneaky popular for a while, but not to this level. And it's just been really great for the whole studio." Talking about the popularity of Fallout 76. I like the idea that it's been sneaky popular. In the under 2 months, this is from the article directly, in the under 2 months since the series premiered, daily active users across the Fallout video game franchise titles developed and published by Bethesda have ballooned over 600% to more than 5 million daily players. I think I quoted you guys that in the past, but here it is in the article. Depending on the Fallout game, Howard says, you're looking at a 4 to 6 times increase in daily players, which is beyond anything I've ever seen in my 30 years of doing this. Having an event that brings that many people into games that you have and who have never played your games before, that's a big thing. New players who have never played a game or never played one of our games, it's a really unique moment. End quote. Going back to the article, additionally, they mentioned they're talking about 76 Shelter. Andrew, they say Shelter in the article.
What?
I know. They're including the best Fallout game. Fallout 4, Fallout 3, and New Vegas. While Fallout 4 and 76 currently sit within the top 7 first-party Xbox Games Pass games by hours, along with Starfield and Skyrim. Oh my god, they're saying 4, 76, Starfield, and Skyrim are all in the top 7 Game Pass games right now. If you're Bethesda, are you making out like Maximus in Vault 4 and having the caviar and champagne going on? I think so.
It's like the perks of being purchased by a mega corporation conglomerate definitely have its advantages.
It can be positive and negative, but yeah. So anyway, there's a good article in Variety if you want to read the whole thing. I just took a few quotes from it, but I thought that was a pretty fun statistic. Speaking of Fallout
Very cool.
popularity, Fallout is now. So I mentioned that Fallout was coming to Fortnite before. The crossover started on the 24th, so that was about a week ago. It consists of mostly power armor skins, and there is a Nuka-Cola health item. I believe it's a health item, refresh item, tonic, whatever. But so there's not vault suits and a whole bunch of Fallout content. That's just part of the current season, and they're bringing Power Armor and Nuka-Cola, which is pretty awesome. But big leak, which just happened. In fact, the guys here. So Wednesday night we recorded Vault Talk, and we're wrapping up Vault Talk, and saying goodnight to Will, and I'm checking Twitter and this and that, and say, wait, what? 7 hours earlier, there was a leak about Call of Duty. So yes, we don't have all the details. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but according to leaks, there are going to be Vault suits and Fallout-inspired equipment in the next Call of Duty game. So hopefully you'll find out more about that soon if you're a Call of Duty player, which I don't imagine there's a huge crossover with our audience.
That was
but
my
hey.
next guess, is like, how many people play both?
You know what? Listeners, if you play Call of Duty and Fortnite as well, just let us know. I'm sure some of you have tried Fortnite. It's popular for a reason. But if you don't, maybe your spouse does. Maybe your kids play Fortnite. I'm just saying our target audience is mostly over 30.
And Fortnite has
might
all
have
those
kids.
dances in them. They could do the Mothman dance and the robot dance. Come on.
There's nothing like seeing the Mothman dance and T60 Power Armor in Fortnite. It looks great, though. I do have to say this, for the Fortnite stuff, it looks fantastic, and I bet the Call of Duty stuff will as well.
Yeah, they're definitely flashy.
The other thing we saw after Vault Talk the other night, and the guys had to listen to me be like, wait, what? I didn't know about this. It was right before it happened, but there was a Fallout 76 press event on Wednesday night and Thursday. I believe the official press event was in the UK on Thursday, and they flew out a number of press and people from the US and invited a whole lot of people in the UK, in the Fallout community there, and big press event. They got to see the future of Fallout 76. There was a buffet with a lot of different Fallout-inspired items.
Don't eat off that buffet.
There was Jello cake.
Don't eat.
There,
Don't eat that. They say that it's ham. That's not ham.
it had iguana bits, Andrew.
Its name used to be Roger, okay?
Well, the Jello. I asked about the Jello cake, and I was told by people at the event, yes, it jiggled.
My favorite dish on the buffet, Jess?
Mm-hmm. Ass jerky.
Oh,
I took
so
the opportunity
close.
to take a drink.
So close.
But yeah, the funny thing is they dressed it up, of course. The whole area was decorated like a vault. And on the buffet, they had, in the back, they had a bunch of boxes. They had like fancy lab snack cakes, Dandy Boy apples, sugar bombs, all that good stuff. They had a Braxo there too. I'm like,
Nice.
maybe don't put a Braxo on the buffet unless you want to go full
It's-
Heathers.
it's-
We're joking about. Silly
Eat
Orange Chat
yourself.
says, I saw that coming. Yeah, he gets me every time. But yeah, so cool press event. We know that it's to celebrate the 20 million players for Fallout 76, the future of Fallout 76, which, as we know, is going to be next season, and everything coming with the Skyline Valley update. Our first map expansion. Wait, first? Yeah, the terminology they're using now is our first map expansion. That doesn't necessarily mean there will be a second, but it definitely makes it seem more likely there will be a second. Because obviously it literally is their first map expansion, but that verbiage makes you think, well, there could be a second.
That means there's plans for more. Absolutely. Yeah.
They've definitely been using that. So we know they discussed that, but did they discuss more? Did they fly influencers and press over to the UK? Some of them first class, by the way. Some of them actually flew first class. Lucky ducks. To just have a celebration about Fallout and Fallout 76. I'm wondering if they learned more. I don't know. But here's what I'm going to tell people, okay? I mentioned that, the season, don't expect that it's necessarily going to be June 25th. It may be later. But I will also say, talking about this month ahead, if you are a Fallout fan, and I know nothing, Jon Snow, but if you are a Fallout fan, it is a very good idea that you may want to tune into Not E3 for the Xbox conference coming up next Sunday the 9th, Sunday, June 9th, and see what happens. Hopefully, we get a peek at the Skyline Valley, a better look. But if there is anything else coming, there's a chance it'll be announced there. So yeah, just saying, if you're a Fallout fan, tune in June 9th. We'll find out what's happening, and just get ready for fun. I'm so excited. This is there's never been a better time to be a Fallout fan.
Do you think that all of this hype recently will light a fire to make Fallout 5 a priority, to get that out within the next 3 years instead of 5 or whatever?
No, but I think it makes Fallout a priority. I say that for a couple reasons. You know,
Yeah.
Todd mentioned in that interview with Kind of Funny 3 weeks ago that there were this project or that project and also that project, such a way that said there are 2 things regarding the Fallout franchise, 2
Oh.
things that they're working on.
Nice.
Now, were those that he was talking about Fortnite and Call of Duty crossovers?
No.
If they were, bad Todd.
Yeah,
Bad Todd.
That's no.
I think, and most people think, that there are a couple projects in the works before Fallout 5. I don't know what they are. That rumored Fallout 3 remaster that we talked about last week at length, and there have been leaks and stuff that came out during the trial, and it all makes it seem possible. But you would think they would be doing Oblivion first, as expected, if that was happening. So I don't know. But either way, maybe we'll hear about that.
Oblivion.
Maybe it was the crossovers plus that. Maybe there's something new with mobile. I am getting my hopes up.
Yes, you are. You absolutely are.
Yeah, exactly. I got to be real. I'm getting my hopes up,
I'm
but
not
I'm feeling
getting
good
my
about it,
hopes up.
and I bet we're going to learn more sooner than later. So
It's going to be a big
Fingers
letdown.
crossed.
Don't get excited.
again, I know nothing, Jon Snow. I don't think that Andrew is getting his Fallout 4 on Switch, but
It's
but
not that's I've given up hope at this point. Like, that will not ever happen.
give up hope, all ye who enter here. Also,
That is dead.
just to kind of cap off the bits with something else. for
Yes.
the old heads in the audience, the first major console war has finally been ended, and Atari is the winner. Yes, Atari has purchased Intellivision.
Television. Was that Coleco? Was Coleco in television?
Intellivision was made by Mattel in 1979, and I think Mattel also made ColecoVision. I think they were related, but they were different consoles. ColecoVision was a separate console
Okay,
from
okay.
Intellivision. Dun, dun, dun. I'm actually looking that up for you real quick.
I don't even. I know heard the name. I don't know if I've ever actually seen one.
So Intellivision was odd because they had the strangest controllers you've seen. It was kind of like a telephone where the controller was a number pad and a weird little swirly, what do you want to call it? Like a trackpad, but a dial, I guess.
I think I
Yeah,
know
so it
what
was
you're
like a-
talking about. Yeah.
Yep, it was like a dial and a number pad. And ColecoVision had a slightly more normal controller. I had a friend with a ColecoVision when I was a kid. I did not have. ColecoVision was their later console, so they did make that as well. But Intellivision was first, and they are now owned by Atari. So I just thought that was kind of neat.
What does that mean? What
Really?
what was Intellivision doing? In the last decade or whatever.
Well,
They
essentially nothing.
Probably just owned IP.
Yep, owned IP, and they're owned by Tommy Tallarico. And for those who have been kind of following the retro game market, Tommy Tallarico was, since 2019, supposedly bringing to market a new console called the Amico. And the Amico is supposed to play some classic Intellivision games and ColecoVision games, and also maybe some new games made for it. Now, this seems like it's kind of, what's the word for it? Oh, vaporware. It hasn't really materialized yet, and it may never materialize. But in doing this, Tommy did retain the rights to make the Amico. So this is just for all the IP and games on the Intellivision.
Holy shit! There's a television here for $70. Let's get one. Sounds
So
awesome.
yeah, you obviously can find out more. There are various articles. We don't know what Atari plans for the Intellivision brand, but Atari themselves aren't, they're still a big brand, but they're not doing as much these days either. They do have a new owner, I believe, a new CEO for about the last year or two, and they've moved away from, well, you guys probably know, Atari got very silly in the 2010s.
What do you mean?
They were known more for trying to make a hotel that didn't happen. They were known for things like speaker hats. You want an Atari branded speaker hat?
I don't. Oh, is that the hats that react to sound?
It was actually a hat with a speaker in the brim, so like Bluetooth connected to whatever you listen to. It's in your hat.
That's odd. No, I was not expecting that.
It was very dumb, and yeah. So
Speaker
Atari hadn't
hat.
really done much of consequence in the 2010s, but they've been kind of reformatted. They're under new management again, and they're kind of trying to bring back some of their old glory. I don't know when their last official published game was, but I think it was probably around 2009, 2010. They had the D&D license for a while. They were doing some stuff, but it's been a bit.
I think they
yeah.
made the Godzilla Melee games Moses likes for the GameCube. So yeah, probably in the 2002 to 2010 era, somewhere in there. Maybe. I think they... Maybe not.
Awesome. Yeah, but that is it for the iguana bits. That is all I have. I just thought it'd be fun to mention the Atari thing.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I know, a lot of us had them or when we were kids or exposed to them at least.
I was just about to ask, Ray, did you ever have a game console in your house, or were you always PC?
Always PC.
Always PC. Jess, was your first console in your house? Do you have a PC first or a console?
So my first personal console was a Nintendo Entertainment System.
No way.
But we did have the Trash 80 Coco color computer.
Say that again slowly, please.
It's a TRS 80, but we called it a Trash 80. That was the
Trash.
nickname
Oh,
for it.
TRS. Trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I
okay.
was 5 or 6, that was kind of like a console.
Neat.
It was a computer console. Back then they were kind of the same. You could actually stick cartridges in your
Yeah.
Commodore 64 and stuff.
Yeah. We had the Magnavox Odyssey 2 or 2000, whatever it's called. That was the first one we had at my house. Neighbor across the street had the ColecoVision, like you, so I got to play over there. Then a different neighbor had a Nintendo. I never had the Nintendo growing up. I had to become an adult before I could get a Nintendo in my house. I asked for Nintendo for Christmas, and my mom got me a Genesis, So I was a Sega kid growing up.
So Solior checked in on the actual lineage of the ColecoVision, and it looks like ColecoVision was made by Coleco, as opposed to Intellivision. They were able to play some of the same games and shared. They shared some of the programming, but it looks like they were originally by different companies. So that's cool. But they went bankrupt.
As
They
any
didn't
good-
survive long to be bought by Atari. That's what happens in the video game world. You either live long enough to see yourself bought by Atari, or you go bankrupt. Let that be a lesson to you, Xbox.
Xbox is going to get purchased by Atari next week. Oh, it'll be hilarious. All right. Have anything else on the agenda this evening? So we got some shouts to get into. Ray, what are you cooking recently?
What have I made? I haven't been doing a lot of cooking lately.
Playing too much No Man's Sky, New Expedition. If you had
Yeah,
to make
I'll
a
have to get on
meal,
that.
if you had to make a meal inspired by No Man's Sky, 7 courses. What do you, that's stupid. What are you serving, Ray? All right, you guys. Did you have anything else you wanted to get into before we get into our shouts, Jess?
Not at all. No, just have a great weekend, gamers.
Ray, how about you, sir? Anything you would like to mention before we get into our shouts for this evening?
No, I think we hit all the notes.
Covered them all. All right, well, let's get into some shout-outs, Jess. Who did we have on the list tonight?
I remembered last week when I was shouting out podcasts that the other one I meant to shout out was that Fallout show. Yes, our friends, Shalene, Rick, and Vendertron are actually, Shalene might be on Scorecation, but they're doing a limited run of the Fallout show back. So
Oh, nice.
if you didn't know or see it on your podcaster, or haven't listened in the past, that Fallout show ran for several years, from around 2018 until about 2022. But it has been gone for a good 2 years now. And they're bringing it back for a limited time because of, well, the Fallout show. Not to be
Yay.
confused with that Fallout show. Completely different by at least 2
different
letters.
IPs, right?
So, if give them a listen. They're doing at least 8 or 9 episodes, kind of like we're doing with Vault Talk covering the show, but they're doing it differently. They're doing regular Fallout news and other stuff like they used to, just kind of getting the gang back together.
Very fun.
So, yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out. Also for Scorecations, so I asked in chat if we had any. I believe everybody here we'd previously shouted out. The only one that hit Scorecation in the last couple weeks we haven't shouted yet would be Lee.
Scorecation!
Nice. He gets the double drop.
Yeah, he does. And he's not feeling great tonight, so,
Oh.
we wish you well, Lee. Feel better.
Feel better, Lee.
And
That's Lee blowing his nose. That's
you
not,
sound like a Vuvuzela.
not a
Lee.
Vuvuzela, not a super mutant hound. That's a schnoz.
And did we shout out Clint and Charlene when they got their Scorecation like 3-4 weeks ago? I don't remember.
I don't know, but you know what? We've got time and it's free.
Scorecation! Scorecation!
There you go.
Why not?
We don't have to
Awesome.
pay to use that. Mo's not wise on us yet. I'm sure one day he'll start demanding royalties, but we've still under the cover of youth at this point.
That's awesome. Well, right now they're level rank 145 and 156, so they made it quite far. But
What? They're still playing. What? Stop.
last
what are you
time
doing?
I asked, they were like rank 108. So a couple weeks ago.
Cut it out, you guys. You finished. You're done.
It's an interesting thing with the scoreboard not having a definite end like it used to. I mean, people are looking at 150 as the end, even though you get to the final board, at 100 still. But if you want to claim the things, people ranking up, I get it. I just want to get that sweet, sweet poster, and then I'll be done. Rank 92.
Poster, and you're done. Well, you said 92 and you're done anyway for some reason, right?
Yeah, that's because of the poster. Yeah, because that's how you always know you're done before, when you get the little scoreboard mural. And that's at 92.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Really, I still want to hit 100, and then, buy what I have to buy, but... Yeah, that's it for shouts.
All right, sounds good, you guys. Well, in that case, you can find Jess and all of her projects over there at Sleep Is 4T. Also at You Wastelanders and at Dames Who Game. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on tonight.
Thank you. Surprise kapow!
Kapow, kapow. Ray can be found at RayLB. Also at BBCISSS for all of your No Man's Sky needs. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on.
Good times.
I can be found at the Facebook group for our podcast here, for our show podcast, and then the Skyrim Addict. We're all together in one Facebook group there. And the show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com. where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrim Addict podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.